we're here today to check the oil in these gear motors so that way they don't get messed up and look like this one that's on the table right here. You see all the metal shavings right there. You see all right here too. That's with no oil. Table right here. Should do this every time, first use of the week or whenever you're starting a new project. You should be checking the oil. And all you do is you take this little drain plug off right here. Each drain plug's gonna be different. Some are gonna be Allen keys, some are gonna be this little stripped out one. So pretty much just remove it. Then if you see the oil dripping out like it is right here, then you know it's full, topped off, and it's good to go. But if you don't see no oil coming out, then each truck's gonna have this gear oil in it. Pretty much you just pull the cap off, stick it in, and just squeeze until it starts coming back out. Once it starts dribbling a little, just put the little plug back in, tighten it up. You don't want to over tighten it because these are aluminum and they strip out fairly easy. And I don't have a rag, but if you had a rag, clean up all the oil and mess and should be good to go until the next round. So that way you're not confusing it with any leaks, and so the dirt doesn't get onto the oil and cause a big mess. Just keeps it clean and looks a little bit nicer. Or they could use any of the 7590 oil. Okay. It's pretty much just standard gear oil. Okay. Any brand, anything will work as long as it's 7590. You could get that like $3,000 to $4,000 just pretty much from this part down. This is like another $1,000 by itself. Okay. If there's no oil in them, they could break really easily. You'll start slip, or yeah, it'll start slipping. It'll pop because the gears will break off, and it's like skipping teeth, so it'll start popping. You'll hear like a windy noise, or it'll just seize up and you'll break the bottom of the shaft where it goes into the spindle.
So it'll be spinning up top in the spring.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different issues that will cause it to, you will just know, honestly. Just by noises or not spinning the lead or extensions, or you could know. They'll get extra hot when the oil is not being checked. If it's low, then you'll feel the heat coming off of it. Okay. But what the
hydraulic oil is different than this oil.
Yeah, so the hydraulic oil only sits through this part right here.
So if you're getting heat lower than that,
yeah, then you know that the gear motor is probably low on oil, or it doesn't have the right oil in it. So like 7590 oil, it's thicker, so it absorbs more of the heat. It dissipates the heat a little bit quicker than standard oil because of it being thicker, and it's synthetic, so it could absorb more of the heat. Another thing to inspect too are these lines, because they'll get pinched right at the seams right here of the fittings where they crimp them. There'll be pinhole leaks, and they'll start leaking from there, and you think it's a gear motor, but it's mostly a hydraulic fluid leaking.
So when it's leaking there, does it end up coming this way? And
it just goes all the way down.
Okay.
Or if you get enough pressure in it, it'll start shooting out. Depends on how big or small the rip is right there in those fittings. Yeah, they should check it right before they pull it off their truck for the first time. Okay. Because each truck is going to have a gear motor stand in it, so it's sitting flat, which are right there on the table. So each truck's going to get one of those where we put the gear motor in and it's going to sit flat, so there's no reason not to check it when it's not flat. Yeah. So that's why it's clean. It's good to keep them clean, because dirt does work into these little cracks and breaks the O-rings, and it'll seep into the gear motor, which will cause problems as well. And keeping the fittings clean.